Good evening, viewers, and welcome to V8 Online's live and exclusive coverage of the iRacing V8 Supercar Series. Tonight's broadcast is being broadcast to you live tonight in glorious high definition with support from the V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and the V8's Online Superstore. I'm Leo Gray, and joining me tonight in the box, as always, Stephen Sandman Clark. Welcome to beautiful Montreal.
G'day, Leo. G'day, everyone at home. Mate, excited about this round as I am each and every week, but I don't know what it is. Ever since this track was released at iRacing, it's never let us down. It's always produced some sensational racing, and mate, it's one I've sort of circled on the colour, and I think it's going to be a pearler. It's
a fantastic track, and of course it does have a lot of similarities to the Adelaide Street Circuit that we were at, of course, this weekend for the V8 Supercar Series, and like so many other street circuits that the real-life V8 Supercars run in. So it feels, for our cars, quite at home.
Mate, if that's the case, if the weekend Eclipse was anything to go by, that means we're in for an absolute pearl up here because, like a number of people have said, and just like you said, it's probably the closest thing we've got to Clipsal. It's a great street circuit, and it always turns it on for us.
Yeah, all the fans. I know I certainly enjoy the street circuits. A lot of the drivers enjoy it too, and it's great to have insight from the drivers in this series. Joining us tonight for the hot lap for a tour around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, we've got Richard Hampstead with us. And you there, Richard? You got us?
Evening, guys. Good to be here.
Yeah, welcome to Montreal. It's a beautiful circuit. We were talking about how much we enjoy it, but how about yourself as a driver?
I think it's a great track. One of the best. It really suits this kind of cars, just bouncing across the curb, and like you said, it's a lot like Clipsal. I think the closest we have to recreating it, and it's good that it landed on the same week.
Yeah, it sure makes great TV, all of those curbs, and I'm sure it's just as exciting to drive through. And of course, really exciting place to race as well. Brings everything close together, and we've seen some great battles in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, most of the track is straights, really. You've got a couple of chicanes, and then you've got a massive back straight. So it's if you can stay within a second and a half of someone, you can really gain from their slipstream.
Now, you're actually sitting pretty tight up the timesheets at the moment, Richard. P2 for the week. And we're hearing from you a bit earlier that you might have a little bit more than that left in the tank before final quals. What do you think?
I'm not sure. It's there's definitely the lap times there if I could do it, but a pretty high quality lap time for Madison there. So I'm not too confident.
Mate, as you said, with the draft along this long back straightaway, there's probably the opportunity to make a fair few passes around this sort of place. We're going to try and pick you up on the screen soon for a lap. I think we might just be having a bit of a technical drama back there, but what do you think of passing here, coming through the field and getting to the front for a win?
Well, see, the thing is, it's easy to get on the back of people because of the draft, but then there's not a lot of clear-cut overtaking moves. It's very, very difficult to try to make a pass through the chicanes. Really, your best bet's probably the hairpin, and that's a pretty tricky little braking zone, especially this season, because we've got a pretty big tailwind into there. So, yeah.
Interesting that you were saying just before we went on air, mate, in this session especially, it's probably a little bit later on in the afternoon, so it can be hard to line up that chicane. Is that right?
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting if we get this same weather conditions that we got in this survey here. The visibility is actually pretty poor. Just trying to spot the apex of the last chicane is very, very difficult. So if you get up behind another car, it's going to be very difficult. Be very easy to get slowdowns. So yeah.
Now, pictures coming through now, viewers, from beautiful circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's a picturesque place, and got to say, Richard, even though you're not a fan through the windscreen, it does look fantastic with this bit of light here on the cars. Your livery looks great, the circuit looks fantastic, and it's an exciting place for us to watch racing at.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. It's just like another Twilight race, so it's even better that it's landed like this. So I guess we'll see what happens in the actual race.
And how do you find racing around this place? I know it's very tight up the top for qualifying times, and I have seen cars really do seem to stick together in packs. How's that all feel?
Yeah, well, it's going to be difficult. Like I said, going to be interesting. Madison's going to have a lot of pace, and also Tobias, Journey's going to have a lot of pace. I raced him in the first race and he beat me there, so yeah, watch out for Tobias.
Thanks for the hot tip, mate, but no doubt you're going to want to stop that from happening again. You're lining up down this back straight. We might let you get on with the hot lap here. Take us around beautiful circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Alrighty, so we're just heading into the last chicane here. Just brake a bit early for this, try to maximise your exit. Spot the apex into the chicane and drift out wide and then get on the power. And so heading down here, we're just trying to straighten out this little bit of section. Cut the curb, don't take too much where you get to slow down. And then try to get on the power as early as you can here. And then it's just all about throttle control up here. And then once again, try to hit the chicane, don't run as wide as that was, try to not hit the wall like that. And then keep pushing. Brake really early for here because it's really slippery into here. Focus on your exit out of gear, shift up to third, just on your apex there. And then you get a bit of a breather. Down here you need to brake really early, especially this season because you've got a pretty big tailwind. Turn in nice and early, bounce over the curb, get it straightened up. And then get set for the hairpin, straighten up this little section and then brake as late as you can. I've got a lot of problems with rear locking into here. And then lots and lots of throttle control out of first gear, out of the hairpin there. It's really, really easy to light up the rears. And yeah, nice little brake again. Now focus on getting the last chicane right. This is going to be very difficult to spot here. Just about got it right. A little bit poor exit there, but not too bad. It's not going to be a stellar time. That's pretty poor, but yeah, anyway.
There we go. Beautiful circuit. It's an exciting place to see a V8 supercar go around. As you said, suits these cars very, very well. And thanks for that tour, Richard.
No problem. Anytime.
Got a bit of a question regarding the weather just before we let you go there. You mentioned a tailwind heading down into the hairpin. If that's going to mean the opposite heading down to the final chicane, is that going to affect, say, drafting or braking zones into that chicane?
Yeah, it magnifies the draft massively. When I was behind a couple of people in the last race, and yeah, the draft is huge, and you can also brake really, really late into the chicane there. So might be a bit of a prime overtaking spot.
There you go, something to watch out for. Well, mate, we'll better let you get ready for the final qualifying session. But thanks again for this trip around. Beautiful circuit, Gilles Villeneuve. We'll be seeing you after the race.
All right, cheers, guys. I'll see you then.
Got to say, Sam, man, I'm really looking forward to this one. We've seen how tight the times are, and qualifying is going to be a big, big part for this track, but really looking forward to the race.
Yeah, it's the times aren't too bad up the front, and of course the man who just took us for a hot lap, Richard Hampstead, he's not that far off the pace, only a 10th in it. So, but of course, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Madison Down still current leader in qualifying at the moment before we head into final qualifying. Fastest time of the week with a 1:36.792. So hopefully there's a couple of drivers there that have got a bit more up their sleeve and maybe snatch the pole off Madison Down coming into final qualifying. Who knows?
We've seen it happen so many times in the past here. That last 20-minute session, it's an exciting one, and I'm expecting more of the same tonight. The draft, we heard, going to play a bit of a role in terms of the race, which of course means it could come into effect here in the qualifying session. And I think that there's quite a lot that can change through there still. We see Hampstead in second, Maris third, Tobias Cerny, as Richard mentioned, very strong position 4. Bo Cattell 5th, Jared Filsell in 6th, Chastain 7th, Ellis in 8th, Mitch McLeod in 9th, and Nathan Bay rounding up the top 10. So, tight field, some big names up there, and this is going to be an exciting session.
You're not wrong. It sort of perked interest too when Richard, commented on just how beneficial that draft can be. And a couple of people get together in this qualifying session. That may be the the edge that they find just for those couple of tenths up their sleeve.
Yeah, and that's all it can take to make a bit of a difference there. Of course, Montreal here is round 5 of our 12-round schedule. Next week, we're heading to... Doesn't need any introduction at all. We're going to Bathurst next week.
Yep.
Round 6 of 12, and you'll finally be able to join us there, Sam, man. Haven't actually had you on board for a broadcast at Mount Panorama.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? The amount of time that we've had it on the iRacing schedule. Unfortunately, fortunately enough, I've been able to make a couple of races, but it'll be my first broadcast, so really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great race for sure. It's not let us down at any point. Back half of the schedule is stacked with some awesome tracks, though, because if we head to Mid-Ohio for round 7, the Sonoma Cup layout for the first time in a while. Good old Phillip Island, a favourite of many, many drivers here. Road America, Yokoyama Circuit in Japan, and then the finale going to be at our own Oran Park. What a great schedule.
Yeah, love it. I'm a traditionalist, easy for me to say, but I love the fact that we have our grand finale at Oran Park, brings back good memories. So looking forward to it, great schedule, and mate, some great racing throughout the rest of the season to come.
Yeah, long way to go still now, but having a look at the championship standings as they sit, Madison Down, of course, has been on an absolute tear and has run away with the first 4 races of the season. He's clear a whole 263 points over John Emerson, who sits in 2nd place. George Maris finds himself in 3rd, Bo Cattell in 4th, and you can see just how close those guys all are. Josh Muggleton not far off either, only 3:16 back in 5th. Chad Chastain 6th, Scott Uren in 7th, Tobias Cerny in 8th, Justin Ruggier 9th, but he is 1 race short compared to the others, and James McKnight rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, 11th place got Ellie Ellis, Ian Ford 12th, Jared Filsell in 13th, Nathan Bay and Nigel Baines tied for 14th, Mark Anderson in 15th, Mark Anderson will be in 16th, Samuel Collins 17th, Michael Fulch in 18th, Peter Barlow in 19th, and ran out the 20, Wayne Burke.
So the obvious thing, I think, with those points is just how far ahead Madison Down is, but if you look through the rest of it, there's some great points battles going on all the way back through the top 20.
And a number of names that we'd expect to be a little bit further up the grid too. Obviously, Muggleton's bad result last week didn't help his points haul, so he's back in 5th, and of course Ruggier down in 9th. But of course you got drop rounds that come into effect too, so it's it looks a little bit up in the air, and things will play out a little bit differently once we take our drop rounds. But mate, I think everyone's just got to worry about stopping that Tats train, because Madison Down's been awfully strong at the start of this season, and if anyone wants a crack at this title, that really needs to come into effect tonight, and they need to stop him tonight.
That's it, and of course, the first step to that is qualifying. 20 minutes around Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and that's ready to go just about now. We're trying to get into the session, get some pictures through for you, but this is the last chance for anyone to make a move, to move up the grid. We hear that you can overtake through this draft down this long back straight, but of course, if you can get in front in qualifying, that's half the job done already.
Yeah, that's it. And I think it'll be good to see a couple of people trying out, team tactics as far as using that draft. It's a huge gain, and if you can just get those couple of tenths, it's an easy sort of free slipstream there. It can work out quite nicely.
Have seen that a number of times already. There's some tracks we go to in this season with some very, very long straightaways. Road Atlanta last week was a perfect example. Saw team cars getting themselves all together. Watkins Glen as well. And Montreal, of course, is a circuit that's really all about long, long straights and those tight, tight corners. It's, as Richard Hampstead said, it's pretty well just a whole bunch of long straights stung together with those chicanes, which means it does feel very familiar to these cars. Bit different from some of the flowing circuits that we've been on, but doesn't make it any less exciting at all.
Now, the one thing we haven't touched on this evening too is, of course, the off-track penalties. You can get 17 in a race before your night's over. So, that's something these guys have to think about, because it's so easy to rip through that final chicane, just to try and be as aggressive and as quick as you can. A couple of off-tracks here or there can add up quite quickly, and you really don't want that to be sort of dictating, the end of the race for you.
Yeah, and of course the other thing that will add to that tally is brushing the wall. If you clip the wall at any point, of course you do have the chance of damaging your car, but it could end up with you disqualified. Now we do have pictures coming through now for you viewers. Man on screen at the moment, George Maris sitting very, very strong in position 3 for the week. Third driver down in the 36s.
Yeah, he's nothing in at pole position, just over a tenth of a second behind Madison down in third, and he's been a great addition to this season's championship. He's been up the front, and yeah, it's really good to see him as strong as he is. And I think this week P3, who knows what could happen in this next 20 minutes, but it's really good to see him snatch a win.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of pace from George Maris in the past, but this season he's been ultra consistent. He's been up the front for pretty well the whole season, scored a number of podiums already, and there's no reason why he can't break through for a pole position and even a win this season.
Car looks fairly tight. I found that corner that he just came out, that exit there through that chicane, I found myself practicing through the week, and I found that was probably one of the trickiest parts, because you just want to get on the throttle and mash it, but the car will step out on you and you just sort of fight with the steering. So it's like Maris is going to abort that lap. He's thought better of it. So such a tricky corner, and it's good to see these guys sort of getting on it.
So we find John Emerson in the TTL, good game forward. Nearly going a bit of grass there, heading down this this curve straight. This braking zone that you're talking about now, it's a pretty tricky little chicane. It's not a quick left-right flick. It actually goes on for quite a bit, and making sure you don't run into that exit wall is probably one of the biggest challenges.
He's on it too, just coming up to a little bit of traffic might just benefit him. I know Dino Bryan's just going to move out of the way. Nice bit of sportsmanship there. Emerson would have loved to grab a bit of toe down that back straight, but never mind. Looks like it's been a pretty good lap so far. I haven't got him on the time. Well, I've got him in. I've only got the top 10 here in front of me, so not quite sure where he's qualified for the week. So no doubt we expect him probably a little bit higher. We expect to see him in the top 10, and always a good steerer, John Emerson in the Good Game Falcon.
I'm going to have a guess that he hasn't yet set a time, because I don't have him in the top 25 and beyond. But he's pretty tidy through the final chicane. Heading down the pit straight, he's going to cross the line. His first lap time is going to be a 1:38.4, so that's going to put him to position 8. Great start for the session for John Emerson. If that's the first qualified time that he's set, I think that he's going to be pushing hard from here. He's got 15 minutes to push on. Of course, the man he's aiming for, current pole sitter Madison Down.
It's a big question through the week, isn't it? Whether someone's going to stop this onslaught that's Down's got. He's just really in a rhythm at the moment. 38.8 as he crosses the line there. So just getting ready to have a crack. His fastest time for the week at 36.7. So mate, he's been the man to beat this season. He's really on his game, and it's going to take a lot for someone to knock him off his perch. But Hampstead's been quick. Maris has been quick. I think Maris is the talk of the town at the moment, and Cesarni too. I believe he was. I think he took the win in the earlier race just before qualifying. So he's probably a man to watch as well.
We've got Sean Kelly on screen at the moment, one of the TTR Fords. There's a beautiful shot just there of how his car is riding the curves of the chicane. Of course, that's one of the critical parts of setting up for this track, is making sure that you can handle massive amounts of curving you need to ride.
That's exactly right, and we just touched on it a bit earlier as far as that final chicane coming onto the front straight. You can really find yourself giving up, valuable tenths if you don't sort of attack that aggressively as you can, and you really need a car to work on the bumps. A little bit sideways coming into that turn, but all sideways on exit too. So ANZ team onslaught here. You've got Jared Philsell just in front of Bo Cattell. So Bo together a tidy lap, he might be able to sneak a bit of that draft that we talked about down the back straight.
We've seen the ANZ guys put a bit of effort into taking care of each other in the qualifying sessions. We've seen that Watkins Glen, Road Atlanta as well, so I don't expect this to be any different here. Garrett in front can give Bo a bit of a tow, and of course he'll return the back later on.
And what an addition to ANZ when Bo Patel joined the crew. I mean, for the moment in qualifying, he's flying the flag for the team. It's himself and Jared doing a sensational job. But I think I forget sometimes that it's just it's Bo's first season with ANZ, and he's doing a tremendous job.
He certainly has. Of course, got that first podium on the board at Brands Hatch. Super stoked with that one, and he's shown a number of times throughout the season already that he's got tremendous speed in the car, working very well with the team, but also they need to make pretty well the same comments as Jared Philsell. Not his first season with ANZ, but this will be his first full season in the top level, in the top splits that we broadcast, and he's proven to be another fantastic addition to the team.
A little bit curved there, both for him there.
Now these guys are 5th and 6th on the time charts. We're going to see them cross the line, and Patel at 37.3. That's actually a 10th off PB for him, and Philsell also a 10th off their best.
Sorry, just looking at the times too. Lee Ellis has actually bettered his PB. He's placed at 37.379 in this session. His fastest coming in was a 37.4, so he finds himself just looks like he's maybe just up in front of Chad.
Yeah, he will have jumped Chad Chastain there. Of course, we will have to keep you updated with the European server if we can, see if Chastain is in that one. Biasoni we expect will be over there as well.
Looks like Marlon just a little bit close to the back there of Jake Burton. Looks like it might have they may be setting up for another lap here.
Yeah, I think that they're just trying to get themselves together. We see the 3 Powerbond cars all in a line trying to set themselves up for a hot lap. Burton in front of the train, Marlon in the middle, and then Kurt Stenberg bringing up the rear.
We're halfway mark of this qualifying session, 10 minutes down, 10 minutes to go. And how quick does that time go? These guys, got to set themselves up, put out a hot lap, and when you're out for another one, and if you bugger it up and reset, head back to pit lane and get out quick smart, because the time gets away from these guys fairly quickly.
Yeah, it does add up there. Of course, if you make any of the slightest mistakes, catch the ball in the grass, make contact with another car, your lap's done, so you need to be about as perfect as you can get, otherwise you're going to be in a bit of trouble. Jake Burton having a bit of a slide.
Looks like Jake there just struggling a little bit there in front of Marlon, but if he hangs in there, it could be real beneficial for Marlon, especially down this back straight.
Burton's actually had a chicane there, had a bit of a slide on the way in. Stenberg has also had troubles. This Powerbond team was quite strong at Road Atlanta. They had a good result for the team.
Oh, it's going to be a lap for those guys. They're going to abort that quick smart. Teammates maybe working with each other. Looks like Madison Dow might be just helping out Lee Ellis here with a bit of drive.
Now heading into this hairpin, we're going to see if we can jump on board, and as we do that, Madison Down runs very wide. This will give us a great opportunity to see the draft though, because he's going to have a great run down that straight with the way he squared the corner off.
You might find Madison will just move out of the way, or he'll continue on down pit lane. He'll just move out of the way. Leon's hopefully can get a good run through this final chicane.
Whoa, big two-wheel action. Car settled itself very well when he went back to 4 wheels.
There we go, he's got PB again, 37.355.
It's that's actually the exact match for Jared Philcell's time.
There you go. Searching around now. Looks like his number of drivers just on their outlaps at the moment.
Here's a flash looking V8 Supercar joining the track. This is Mark Peter Dean driving for V8's Online Motorsport.
Yeah, got to be happy with that. Nice new addition to the family. So, see his fastest time in this session is 140, but it's good to see him flying the flag for V8's Online.
Yeah, V8's Online Motorsport, of course, the team did spring up recently from Dynamic Sim Sport, and we're putting a lot of effort into getting cars out there, being a bit more active. Of course, you'll find myself up here in the box come V8 Supercar race time, but great to see Mark getting involved here for us in the V8 Supercar. I know he's really excited in taking part in this championship and driving for us in this team, and doing a great job, putting a lot of work into it. And yeah, great to have him on board.
Speaking of paints, as much as I try and convince my son to love all my paint schemes, he's a massive fan of Good Game and can't get enough of John Emerson's car. So as much as I try and get him to like my cars and be a bit of a fan of mine, he says, no Dad, all he's interested in is the Good Game Falcon. So John Emerson's got at least one fan out there.
His car looked very, very tidy through that final chicane.
Looks like might be just finding his feet there, just a lazy 151, so not too much effort at this stage.
Yeah, I think that may have been an outlap or something there, because he's pushing very hard, catches the curb and finds himself out on the grass.
Yep, he'll quickly abort that one.
Now Maris has gone to the top of the timesheets for the session. He's pulled out a 37.030. Barely a tenth slower than his best time for the week.
Yeah, at least he knows he's sort of on it. He's in the ballpark, and it's amazing, isn't it? You know, all you need is a tenth of a second or so, and you know, that could grab your pole. But easier said than done, just a tenth or 10.5. But he's on the money at the moment, 37.0. He's not mucking about. And if you can just find a couple of more tenths, who knows?
Down on screen is one of the Synergy Sim Racing cars, Dave Oliver. Having run in the Cosmo lighting liveried car. Long back straightaway here. Fantastic brake zone. I love this chicane. Just make sure that you don't grab Champion's Wall on the right. So Oliver has actually gone and set himself well, it is a personal best if it's his first qualifying lap, but a 38.9 for Oliver. Great start for the week. He's got 4 minutes though to get out there and get another one, as do all other drivers in the session.
Yeah, the times these guys are looking to get, you know, at least inside the top 10, 37.8. Looks like Lee Ellis is just snagging a bit of draft there. Let's see what this will do as he crosses the line. This will be the start of his lap.
Have a listen to the throttle application through this onboard shot. Got to be so gentle through these low corners, but there's also a lot of time spent just waiting on the throttle.
A little bit sideways on exit, but that's alright. Didn't cost him too much. Oh, this is doing weight. That's where I struggled through the week just with practice. You know, you just want to mash the throttle, but the car punishes you if you do.
Hard on the brakes with those downshifts. Using a lot of the curve there. Great to see how what exactly he aims for, but 2 wheels right over the curbs. Awkward braking zone for the super slow hairpin. 50 kilometres an hour through there. Slide on exit, and he's boarded the lap. Must have known we were riding with him. You've got 2 minutes 20 remaining in the session, so not going to have much time. You've got to finish a lap, and you might have time for one more. But we see 2 ANZ cars starting to line up.
It's like a tidy little exit there for John Emerson with a good game Falcon. Can he maybe sniff a little bit of a toe there? Mark Peter Dean's in front of him. Looks like he's going to give way, so a little bit there for Emerson, not a lot.
Doesn't take much though. Emerson's hard on it. A lot of curb use. You need to do that to get through that chicane with any sort of speed. He must be on a quick one. He's taking the qualifying run to the line.
Oh, another one, PB, so 37.7. He's about a second off pole, so he's got a 37.7. So a little bit more time to find, but at least he's punched down a number and he's there or thereabouts. George Maris coming down that back straight into the final chicane.
Fast man for the session. He's been pretty consistent with his laps there. Just hasn't managed to break the 36s yet, but he's been very close.
So he's managed to cross the line with under 50 seconds to go now in final qualifying.
Just looking around through the track, there's still a couple of teammates that are floating around together. There's Ellis and Down, as well as Phil Sell and Cattell. 20 seconds left for you though to start a lap. Looking at Cattell and Phil Sell though. Cattell's got a draft from Dean O'Brien and the Synergy Darryl Lee car.
Yeah, all lucky. I wasn't sure if Dean was on a lap, but he moved out of the way, so that could work out nicely for Cattell. Two-wheel action. Oh, in the champions wall. It's a bit
His
hard.
teammate followed him.
That's a shame too, because that would have worked out nicely. It was a nice game down that back straight, but unfortunately it's night over for him.
Well, he's carrying so much speed with that draft, but session over now. Checkered flag is out, so the drivers that are on their laps right now, this is it. George Maris heading into the chicane, carrying a lot of speed even without a draft. Hear him see him hit 265, very hard over the curbs. Just the right amount of exit curb though. Fast man for the session, best is a 27. Oh, very close again. Couldn't break into the 36s. He's best time for the week, sees him third.
Lee Ellis on screen, he's made some improvements in this session. Let's see what he can do now. Crosses the line. Another PB, 37.305 for Lee Ellis.
So he has managed to jump the ANZ boys. Going to put him up to 5th.
So we're a couple of looks like Dale Niche maybe coming to the line now. And Richard Arwood behind him. Dale's done a PB there with a 39.061. It looks like Richard's going to abort that. So that looks like final qualifying done and dusted.
You've seen already just how tough this circuit is. Going to make for a great race though. But to run through the qualifying results for this session, George Maris, fast man for the session, 37.030. Very close to his best. Lee Ellis's 37.3 was his best. Moves him up to 5th on the grid. Bo Cattell 3rd. Jared Philsell 4th. Madison Down doing race runs by the looks of things. Mullen very strong 6th. Sean Kelly 7th. Emerson found himself in 8th without much practice. Corey Preston 9th. Sanjay Delilah rounds out the top 10.
You continue on through the grid. It's Dean O'Brien in 11th place, Kirk Stenberg in 12th, Jake Burton in 13th, Michael Wilson in 14th, Dave Oliver in 15th, Mark Peter Dean in 16th, Dale Niche 17th, Richard Arwood at 18th, Thomas Carini in 19th, and rounding out at 20 is Wayne Hewitt.
That's completed the 20-minute session for qualifying before the race. Of course, we've got 20 laps now coming to you from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We're going to run through the full grid when we come back after this short break. But we hope you enjoy the action, and we'll see you very shortly.
Tomorrow may not come. There's a little bit of contact there from Scott. He muscles his way past.
Contact.
To the back of...
Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome back to V8 Online's coverage of the iRacing V8 Supercar Series. Tonight's broadcast is coming to you live and in glorious high definition with support from the V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and V8's Online Superstore. Joining you back again, I'm Leo Gray, and of course, Stephen Sandman Clark, right back from qualifying action. Ready for this race, Sandman?
Oh, am I what, mate? Had it circled on the calendar as soon as I saw it released. This place has never let us down for action, and mate, I think if anything's to go by over the weekend's race at Clipsal, I think we're in for a heck of a race because this is our version of Clipsal. Really looking forward to it. Yeah,
V8 Supercars on a street circuit, always exciting. It's a popular place, turned out some very exciting races in the past. Last time out, won by Renz Brookman. 32 laps and 10 seconds clear of Madison down. But tonight, going to be a bit different. Renz isn't in the field, and 32 laps has gone a bit shorter. 20 laps tonight, which of course means our man in the pits is going to be taking it easy tonight. Reese, you there with us?
Yeah, I am, guys. Yeah, it's a 20-lap sprint race tonight, so no pit stops, no strategies to report on, and yeah, I'm sure you guys know just as well as anyone, I do love reporting on the pit stop races, but now and again, it is nice to kick back and just take it all in.
Especially in a place like Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, because I think that the short sprints around here makes for some pretty furious motor racing.
Oh yeah, certainly. I've always enjoyed every single race we've had at Montreal, and it's a personal favourite circuit of mine as well. Ever since I bought F1 2006 on the PlayStation 2, it's been one of my absolute favourite racetracks of all time. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one.
There's a trip down memory lane, mate, back in 06.
Yeah, it was more like 2007 or something like that. I'm not quite sure when I got the game, but yeah, it was a very long time ago.
Still beautiful, beautiful circuit, and you're going to be enjoying yourself anyway, though, Reese, because this place always turns on the action, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I'll be definitely looking out for any information up and down the pit lane that does come up, and you guys will be the first to hear it.
Sounds good to me, mate. Keep us posted.
Yeah, definitely.
So, just getting ourselves ready for this 20-lap race around Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's a famous circuit, this one. Very tough little place. Lots of tight concrete walls, very high speeds and very, very tight corners, including that iconic hairpin at 50 kilometres an hour around there, setting yourself up for a long back straightaway.
Yeah, of course, so easy to get caught up off tracks. You know, we mentioned in the preview and the qualifying that you can only have so many off tracks before you disqualify from the event. So these guys will have to sort of keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, other thing to that too is brushing the wall, but don't want to see any of that. We'll run through the starting grid for tonight's race because our pole sitter is Madison down. Just 2/10 clear of Richard Hampstead. Madison on a 136.7, Hampstead a 136.9. George Maris, the only other man with a 36. Tobias Cerny, very, very strong qualifying result, and you can't get any closer to a 36 than the 37.000. Bo Cattell finds himself in 5th with Lee Ellis alongside. Jared Filsell 7th, Mitch McLeod in 8th, came so close to a podium last week. Marlon McMullen, a very strong result in the top 10 there. Sean Kelly in 10th.
In 11th place, we've got John Emerson. In 12th, Nathan Bay. 13th, Corey Preston. In 14th, Michael Fulcher. In 15th, James McKnight. Dean O'Brien in 16th. Sanjin Delelic in 17th. Kurt Stenberg in 18th. Jake Burton in 19th. Rounding out the 20, Michael Schreier.
Richard Aylward and Mario Vlasic round out 21 and 22. But check it out, position number 23, shotgun on the field. Josh Muggleton for Tats.com Racing.
Got his work cut out for him, has he? Oh, Margo. He's haven't posted a time through qualifying through the week, so back there in 23rd. Certainly going to be interesting seeing who can carve his way up through the field.
Oh, that's big, isn't it? Car number 2 starting from position number 23. Not sure if it's a lack of preparation or what exactly the reason is. great to have him in the field. I think this is going to be an exciting storyline to follow, Sam, man.
You're not wrong, mate. Yeah, Muggo's had a busy week. Hasn't had a chance to qualify, unfortunately. But, mate, if we do the math, if he only picks off a car per lap, then he might find himself battling for a podium there towards the end.
Wouldn't that be something? But there's 22 other drivers in front of him that are going to have something to say about it. Cars are going to be gridding up now, and this is going to be one exciting race.
Should be a good drag race to the start-finish line. Of course, everyone starts to think about, is anyone going to stop Madison down? He's had a tremendous start to the season, but there's a number of quick drivers. Hampstead, Maris, Cezerny, they've all been extremely quick throughout qualifying and throughout the earlier races. So don't know if Madison's going to have everything his own way tonight.
And the first lap around here is always one for excitement. 23 angry V8 Supercars. Very, very cold and close concrete walls. Lights are up, the revs rise. We're getting ready to go racing at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
And away, what a start there. Look at Hampstead. He's going to take the right to Madison down, but he's on the outside there, so he's going to have his work cut out for him. If he can hang through, though, he's got a good braking margin in there. Can he hold it there? Looks like Madison's going to try and fight around the outside there, side by side.
Still side by side they go. Madison down, just gets the run out and edges him over. Maris looking very tidy in there, but you'll see the Focatel's also jumped his way to fourth.
Fairly clean there. Oh no, a little bit of contact there. John Philsel's into the wall. They're getting there. One of the TTO cars has been involved.
Number of cars. I see a Synergy car. Lee Ellis in there as well. Still going on. That's Philsel done. Big time damage on the tag pest management belt.
So just as I was about to say, they got off to a reasonably clean start. Just a little bit of bumping there just through that chicane, and that fired them into the fence. So that's it's not over, unfortunately, for those guys.
Trying to see exactly what happened, but it looks like they were side by side.
Oh, sorry to cut into Bocatel. He's had a cut track penalty. He's gone from 5th place. He's now finds himself behind Mullen, so he's dropped a number of spots there.
So easy to do though. Heading down this long back straight there for the first time. Madison Downs actually stretched himself a bit of a lead over Richard Hampstead. Maris still remains in 3rd, but Mitch McLeod's fought his way up to 4th, Cerny 5th, and his Powerbond teammate Marlon McMullen in 6th.
Great stuff. McLeod started in 8th, so he's already found himself 4 spots under his belt. Nice job. Tobias has just slipped back there, so he started 4th. He's just dropped 1 position, so it's not all over for these guys. Early stages of lap 1.
Now Muggleton on his charge through the field, found himself up in 16th, but had a cut track through the chicane. Very hairy. He's got to give up a bit of time there. He's got to slot himself in between Sandra Delilac and Richard Elwood.
Maybe Sanjin just got a bit of a cut track there as well. So, mate, so easy to do at this racetrack, and it can cost you so much, especially when the field is so bunched together. Here's actually Mitch McLeod got his hands full. Tobias He's been really big in the opening races a little bit earlier on through the night, and finds himself all over the back there of Mitch McLeod. So he knows that he's got pace on board, and he needs to dismiss of Mitch McLeod. Hopefully getting into the braking zones, carry some of that draft down this back straight, but we'll see what he's got. But a lot of pressure there, Marlon McMullen. Oh, a little bit sideways here under brakes. Lucky not to make contact there, but Marlon looks like he may poach this position off him.
Those teammates fighting a bit harder than they need to. That's given Mitch McLeod a big break heading down the back straight. Tobias was looking pretty good to get a pass done, but now the 2 Powerbond cars are going to go side by side.
So Marlon will just huck back in behind Tobias, but yeah, exactly like you said, Mitch will be loving what's happening in his mirror. Just a little bit of breathing room, and now he can just sort of look forward, and looks like, oh, is it Maris? Maris has had a cut track.
Maris finds himself behind the Powerbond cars. Position number 6 for George Maris.
Wow, that's huge. That's got so many drivers in these opening laps. It's so easy to do, but like I said, when it's all bunched up, it's really, really painful and really hurt your night. Just look at this battle here between Sean Kelly and John Emerson. Looks like Kelly's got a bit of damage to the front of this car, so he's had his fair share of dramas in these opening laps. The car not as tight as he'd like. Looks like a little bit sideways there as he comes into the braking zone, and that's all that Emerson needs to see. His car's looking fairly tidy, Emerson behind him, so he might have his work cut out for him trying to keep Emerson back there.
Emerson's a cool head. He'll have been keeping his nose clean. Kelly's car looking very messy in the front. Look at the wheel work through that chicane there. A lot of opposite lock heading down to the braking zone.
A little bit further back, looks like Nathan May's got the job done on Dean O'Brien.
Nathan May up into position number 10. Fantastic drive there for May. I think this will be his first race with us here in the broadcast. Finds himself starting to well. Emerson takes the position. Sean Kelly.
There's a little battle back here with Josh Muggleton just trying to find his way up through the field there. Sandra Delacqua in front of him. Josh Muggleton, he's managed to get the position on Michael Schrader. So across the line now, everything will reset. So Muggleton finds himself back in 18th position. Sorry.
Yeah, he's had a couple of cut track penalties as Josh Muggleton. That's not the way he would have envisioned this race going. Kelly, after Emerson has made it through, finds himself falling back in the clutches of Nathan May. May have had a short cut track penalty there in Sean Kelly. That's an angry looking pack behind him. You've got May in the overcautious car, Michael Fulcher just behind that.
Just had a quick look through the replay. It looked like, just went back on the vision. Looks like Emerson just got the position done in the braking zone near pit entry there. But so George Maris on screen here. He's got the move or
bit of contact behind that with the power bond in the ANZ cars there. But look at how Cerny, he's carrying a lot of speed. He's managed to get himself right up to the back of the cloud.
Oh, look at the draft that these guys get down that straight. So crucial. You can get a decent run, carry that speed all the way through, but of course you've got to be careful. Don't attack that chicane too much because a cut track, we've seen it so many times just in the early laps of this race.
Now, we were told that Cerny was quick. He's pressuring Mitch McLeod big time now, and this is for the final spot on the podium.
Yeah, the frustrating thing for Cerny is that he knows he's got the pace on board. He's been extremely quick leading up throughout the night, but if he can't get the job done on Mitch McLeod, he's going to find himself just drifting back because the leaders up front, Madison Down and Richard Hampstead, they've got themselves some clear air. And the way it is now with McLeod and Cerny, they're a good 5.2 seconds off the leaders. So a lot of work to be done for Cerny if he can finally round up Mitch McLeod. We're at Bow after his off-track penalty, finds himself a little bit sideways there. He's battling here. He's got Marlon in front of him and then George Maris. So this battle's for 5th, 6th and 7th.
He's going to have a look here.
Oh, Marlon's going to go up the inside of Maris. Can he get the job done? He does. Maris just moves a little bit wide. He knows he was sitting duck there on the outside, but he's going to have a good run there. He's going to be side by side with both Patel.
He's going to get the position back with Patel. He's going to get a draft on the powerbond car as well. McMahon was sideways big time under brakes. Cattell pokes out of the draft. Can't find the room to make a move though.
And he thought about it.
Single file for the chicane.
Smart bit of driving. The last thing you know, we've seen plenty of action in previous rounds here at the iRacing V8 Supercar Series with drivers pulling it out into that chicane. If you're almost not single file, it pretty much turns into disaster. So it was a nice bit of heads up move driving. Maris looks up the inside. Can he get the job done on Marlon? Marlon's going to drift a little bit wide. He's going to be on the outside now, Maris. So Marlon's got the inside. They're going to be side by side.
Still continuing on with it. This is going to get awkward as we head to the chicane. Who's got the preferred line? No one moves.
Plenty of racing room. A little bit sideways there, Maris. It looks like Marlon will keep onto it. Nice job.
This sideways heading over that one. Defensive line from McMullen.
Oh, Maris, he's thinking about
Bit
the
of an
outside.
overlap there.
He
But,
knows. He's smart bit of driving there, Maris. He didn't want to stick the nose there. Could have got ugly.
just look behind, there's a blue Falcon coming. That's Emerson from the Good Game car. How close to
Oh, Bo's having a moment. Will there be contact? No. Nice heads up driver by both of them. That could have turned ugly fast. What's Bo going to do? Will he think about a move up the inside of Maris? He's in the braking zone. He's got the car alongside. Can he pull it up? That'll be the crossover. Nice bit of heads-up driving by Maris. Now it's a drag race. Who can get out of the corner fastest? They've got the run down the back straight. Maris has got the inside line. It's a drag race, but Emerson right there trying to get a bit of toe.
Going to have a huge, huge drive from these two running side by side. He's got the best seat in the house. Who's going to give into this braking zone? Oh, I can tell a little bit deeper. Is he going to edge across? He does.
Nice. A lot of give and take between these guys. They know it's early, lap 6 of 20, so nice bit of heads-up driving. They don't want to get caught up, like we said earlier. They don't want to go side by side through that chicane.
Of course, I don't think that this battle's over yet for a long shot. McMullen just starting to pull away a little bit, but Maris is going to put that position back, and Emerson's carrying speed on all of them.
Amazing the margin up front. Just quick touch on the leaders. Madison down, got himself a 2-second margin over second place Richard Hampstead. Third place Mitch McLeod, but he's got his hands full with Tobias Zerny back there for third and fourth. Then it's Marl McMullen, Bo Cattell, George Maris. That's fifth, sixth and seventh. Eighth place John Emerson now coming into that battle as well. In ninth, Mike Fulcher, and rounding up the team, Corey Preston.
I know there's still a lot that can happen, but the gap up the front has closed just a little bit. Hampstead was about 2/10 quicker last time by.
Maris, he's thinking about it. Oh, Bo Cattell. Oh, sideways! He's gone! He made contact there, or maybe to the back of Marlon. Marlon has held onto it, but Maris got involved there as well. A little bit of a moment with Bo coming into the braking zone, and that's gone ugly. What was lucky Marlon McMullen. He did get a tag to the back there. Appropriate that I say the tag best management. Tagged the back of Marlon McMullen, but only just enough to upset Marlon. He didn't go around, didn't spin out, and unfortunately Maris just made a little bit of nose-to-tail contact. But the big winner from that was John Emerson.
Easiest 2 positions he's ever made. I was thinking a bit earlier that he's going to be a bit worried coming up the way these guys are running with each other. But couldn't have gone any better for the driver of the Good Game car, as now he sets his sight on Marlon McMullen for power bond.
I'll tell you what, Circuit Jules Villeneuve hasn't let us down. There's been plenty of action up and down the field. These guys get cut track penalties and little bit of moments there, some contact between cars. It's all happened. It's only lap 8 of 20.
Now, I did quickly touch on it before all of that action started happening, but last time by Richard Hampstead pulled another 3/10 in on Madison down. We're on lap 8 of 20, long way to go. Who knows what Madison's got left in the tank, but that gap is starting to close ever so slightly.
Yeah, that's good to see. Looks like Hampstead maybe just been a little bit more comfortable with the car. His pressures have come up, and like you said, he's found that 3/10. Margin down to 1.7 seconds now, so they've got himself a healthy margin back to third though, because Mitch McLeod and Tobias is only now 6.5 and 7 seconds behind.
Now Madison Downs' teammate Josh Muggles, we pull him up on screen. He has a big slide towards the outside wall there. He's managed to fight his way up into 17th position. Not been strong going for Muggleton, as he's found himself in the wars. Got a damaged car, front and rear, and a couple of off tracks along the way too.
Yeah, that car's not straight as he'd normally be like, but he's getting on with it. Definitely got his work cut out for him. It's a hard ask to come through the field at the best of days, but especially around here, it's such a tight, twisty racetrack.
Big fight for the final spots in the top 10. You've got Michael Fulcher, position 9, Corey Preston in 10th, and James McKnight trying to get a bit of an overlap into the chicane. Pulls in behind the HPR Falcon. But these guys have been racing hard for a couple of laps now.
Yeah, good smart bit of heads up driving there from McKnight too. He thought about maybe driving up the inside, but thought better of it. So got himself a nice little battle here with himself and Preston.
Ooh, Corey Preston runs a little wide. If you touch the grass just a little too much, you can loop you pretty easy. But good to see. Good hard driving.
Look at this great view. Looking out the back of John Emerson, you can see George Maris just slowly trying to creep in. Can he get a good run through this hairpin? If he can, he can carry this down this back straight. You'll see just how much he'll be able to close using this draft. He's probably just a little bit further back than what he needs to be to benefit big time from the draft. But great shots looking rearward from John Emerson.
Impressed to see how Maris has managed to close right back up onto John Emerson after that contact with Cattell. Clearly still got some pace, George Maris does. Battles forming everywhere throughout the field. McKnight and Preston still fighting hard. I think that we're going to be focusing on...
Cut track. Looks like McKnight will gain position. So Preston looks like he got a cut track there. He had to give up track position and McKnight slides on through.
Tough pill to swallow, that one. Just going to say Maris and Emerson. This is going to be heating up within a lap or two. Maris looks like he's got pace. I expected Emerson to close up on the back of Marlon McMullen. Maris is definitely the quickest of these three.
This battle here, this isn't over between Tobias Zerny and Mitch McLeod. Tobias will race, he's got pace, but hasn't been able to dismiss McLeod yet. McLeod's holding on.
We briefly touched on it this week when McLeod found himself in position 3, but how hard do you think he's going to run for this podium spot? He's got to be
on the line.
Derny, however, carrying a lot of speed, and he's going to be just as hungry too. Lap 10 of 20. And this fight for third place is going to be heating up. Derny pokes the nose out of the draft, a long way back for a pass though.
So the good thing Zerny does is just moving around a little bit in that mirror. If you can just distract Mitch McLeod, especially coming into that braking zone, if he gets himself a little off track there, it's an easy pick up there for Zerny. So nice bit of heads up driving there, just moving around in his rear view mirror.
Have a look at what we've got on screen here. Marlon going to be sweating because John Emerson and George Maris, these two guys are getting closer and closer each corner. Going to be a 3-car fight very, very shortly.
Those Powerbomb guys have certainly hit on something special this week. The pace of Zerny in 4th and of course Marlon in 5th. Definitely got his hands full. Looks like he's going to get a move up the inside. Emerson thinking about it. Just tucks back in.
Ooh, he was hard
there
under
for
the
Marlon.
brakes.
He stood up. Maris is right there all over the back there of John Emerson. A little bit of nose to tail action. It didn't take much. Marlon just had a little bit of a slip. Now what's Emerson going to do into the braking zone? He's going to go around the outside.
He's going to try and set himself up for a low. Look at Maris turns him.
Maris has made contact there with Marlon McMullen. Looks like Marlon's going to lose another spot there. That was Bo Cattell who managed to slip through. So a little bit of nose-to-tail contact there between Maris and McMullen, and unfortunately it's ended badly for McMullen. Check out the action on the race recall replay. You can see the guys coming into the braking zone, and Maris, you can see what Maris was thinking. He was going to try and think about ducking up the inside there, but that gap closed up, and unfortunately a little bit of nose-to-tail contact there between him and Marlon.
There's an awkward position there, but that's going to be John Emerson through into position number 5. Started all the way back in 11th. Have a look at the movers and shakers on screen here. Mitch McLeod, we mentioned, had a fantastic start, finds himself up 5 into the podium spot of 3rd. John Emerson up 6 as well. Michael Fulcher and James McKnight have both come up 5. Stenberg and Schreier up 6. Muggleton up 6 as well.
Oh, sorry, Tobias is only... Oh, sorry to interrupt, mate. He was thinking about a move there outside of Mitch McLeod.
No, you're right, mate. And unfortunately, the losers in the field. Nathan Bay ran into problems in chicane earlier with Sean Kelly, I believe it was. Ellis O'Brien and Phil Sell have dropped out of the race.
So we've got plenty of different driving lines, especially between Mitch McLeod and Tobias Azerni. Just from this chopper view, you can see just where these guys sort of get their power. Sometimes you'll run it a little bit wide to try and cut in underneath, and of course this back straight draft can be beneficial too.
Talking about different lines, I know that John Emerson's been taking a very straight run out of that hairpin. He's been setting himself up for the long drag down the straight, and that's what sometimes you'll have to sort of manage, see where your strengths and weaknesses are. Turney and McLeod definitely taking different lines through this first corner sequence.
Tell you what, while this has all been going on, just have a look at this margin up front. It's almost a 1 second mark now. So Madison down, looks like he's going to have his hands full. Richard Hampstead's got that margin down to 1.1 seconds now.
Has been chipping away, has Richard Hampstead. 10th here, 10th there. What's going to come down to is how Madison Down can handle the pressure. We've seen that he has been very strong this season, but Hampstead, we know, is going to be hungry. 8 laps to go.
Just a bit of a quick look at their laps. I think it was 2/10 last time down. Madison Down did a 36.8 compared to Hampstead's 38.4. So, yeah, 38.6 to a 38.4. There's 2/10.
4/10 difference the lap prior to that. Try and monitor the gap at the line this time by, but Hampstead definitely closing. Coming to the line, Madison Down going to tick over 7 laps to go. He's up the ante ever so slightly. 38.59 plays Richard Hampstead's 38.67. So Madison Down has responded to this pressure from Richard Hampstead. 7 laps remaining until the checkered flag.
Yeah, I think the smart thing for him to do is just make sure that he doesn't let Richards enough where he can probably benefit from that toe down that back straight. I think if he can just break that margin enough where that toe doesn't come into it, he'll be all right.
Now, man, having a quiet job tonight, but Reece Gardner in the pit's got some info for us.
Yeah, guys, TTR Spy Guy has gotten into contact with me again, and he's been bringing me some news from the TTR camp. We do know that Josh Muggleton is having mixed emotions about working his way through the field, in the TTR Spy Guy's words, but up front, Richard Hampstead is certainly on the hunt, and Madison knows it, so as you guys were saying, it is up to Madison to respond well to this charge from Hampstead.
Yeah, always interesting to get inside the minds of the drivers and wonder what they're thinking at this point in time. You've got to be watching those timesheets, you know the guy behind you's closing. Thanks for that, Reece, keep us posted.
Yeah, definitely.
Talking about responding to pressure, I put the blockers on him. Was just about to give him a rap, but Jake Burton and Josh Muggleton put the big pressure on him. And just as I went to give the rap for it, he's just run a little wide of the chicane. Sorry there, Jake.
All due credit to Jake. He had one of the best in the business right behind him, and yeah, Josh Muggleton just made him have a little mistake there and able to gobble him up. So never mind, Jake. It's a good learning achievement.
Now, we have been monitoring it. Talking about responding to pressure. Madison Down was quicker 2 laps ago. Richard Hampstead's up the pace once more.
He found 3/10 last time by Richard Hampstead, so nice little net gain there. That margin's going to be under a second in a moment.
Judging by my screen, I've got him at 8/10 right now as we speak. Looks like one's quicker at certain parts of track than the other. Oh, Madison Down must be pushing. He had a big wiggle on the exit. Looks like he may have clipped a bit of grass. He's definitely feeling that pressure.
I think out of the two, he's one probably looks like it's moving around more. Looks like Hampstead's car's pretty stable, but Madison Down a little bit squirmy under brakes, and you saw when he was applying the throttle out of that turn, just a little bit loose on exit.
We're coming to 5 laps to go. 5 laps left in the race. And this gap is closing. Love the way they bounce through that chicane. Use all that exit curb. Crossing the line. 5 laps till the finish. Gap still closing. 10th quicker that time for Hampstead.
There's been no easing up here either for the last step on the podium. Mitch McLeod, he's had his hands full from the drop of the clean flag, but looks like it's him and Cizerni. It's been a good little battle. 38.9 for Cizerni and 39.1 for Mitch McLeod last time by.
These two guys have got to be hungry. We mentioned last week just how long it was since Mitch McLeod was on the podium. We have a look at Tobias Cerny here. Running very, very strong there in 4th. That's going to be a best result for him. He's come away with 2 6th in the past, so I know he'd be stoked for 4th right now. But if he can get on the podium, that'd be his first podium. He'd be about as happy as you can get right now.
He's doing a great job flying the flag from Mod 2, isn't he? Like you said, it's his early on in the relationship with Powerbomb Racing, and mate, he's really taken it to Mitch McLeod, and mate, he's looking good for a podium here. These guys are going to really fight tooth and nail right to the end.
See the big slide that McLeod had coming out of the chicane there. Right nose to tail, they run through the hairpin. Just achingly slow that corner. Cerny's going to have a draft here, but hasn't been close enough to put a move into the chicane. McLeod running down the middle of the road, knows that Cerny is there.
Oh, he thinks about a move? No. Just moving around. That's what he needs to do. Just move around in the back of the mirror. It's a little bit of an off track. That would work wonders for him.
At the same time, got to be super careful himself. Taking a different line into the first turn. Just pulling himself out of the mirrors of Mitch McLeod. Oh, but whilst this is happening, look at the gap up the front. It's less than half a second now.
Wiggle.
Where's that come from?
Madison Down had a massive moment on the throttle there. Had a huge sideways moment.
Oh, here
Looks
we
like
go.
He's got a bit of damage to the right front too.
Less than a car length between these guys. Hampstead is there.
Check out this rearward facing camera on board Madison Down, Tats.com Falcon, Richard Hampstead right there. This TTL Falcon, he hasn't given up all race. I think he's just been sort of setting himself up. He's been saving his car a little bit. We've seen Madison's Down. He's been moving around and wiggling around under brakes and on throttle. So maybe he's not all that happy with his car, but he has got a bit of damage to the car too.
Oh, Hampstead very tight through that corner. Madison Down setting himself up for a strong run through the back straight. But this is the closest that Hampstead has ever been. He's looking very racy at the moment. He's going to have a toe down the back straight. He's going to have 3 laps with which he has an opportunity to make a move.
Oh, Hampstead is up through the chicane. Doesn't want to get a cut track. No, does a nice job. A little bit sideways on exit, but he's just hanging through there.
Yeah, the other thing he has to watch now is running so close to the car in front through that chicane. He's eaten away at the margin. But being this close, he still has to side his braking points. Still has to nail that chicane each time. But 3 laps to go.
Mate, his car looks good. That TTL Falcon looks really good, especially up through that chicane. Looks like he might have just enough here to take the Madison Down. No one's been able to stop Madison Down for the start of this new season in 2014. Can Richard Hampstead be the one? The pressure's on TTL.
This is definitely the closest that we have seen anyone to Madison Down this season at this late stage of a race. The start of Road Atlanta last week was huge pressure on him, but the cards all fell his way. But Richard Hampstead, He's got something to say about it. He wants this race victory. He's going to take the fight to Madison down, and it's just now going to be between these guys to settle it out.
Just Richard Carr, or just I was going to say that
Richard.
sideways. Can he hold on to a little bit sideways? I was going to say his car looks so good into the braking zone, but just broke loose, and he's just given away a little bit of a margin here, especially in this. That was a tricky part because you really want to carry that exit speed all the way down this long straight.
It's amazing that he didn't loop it there. He was completely sideways opposite, locked throughout the entire hairpin section there. He's dropped a huge heap of ground from Madison down. He's got to keep his head about him, not overdrive it, trying to make up that margin, but that blessing for Madison down there, giving him just a little bit of space and ease the pressure.
How good's that though? Last lap round he only gave up 1/10 considering that whoopsie he had in the hairpin. So nice recovery there from Hempstead. Now look at him, he's closed right up to the back of Madison down.
Unbelievable stuff. 2 laps to go. Richard Hampstead, his car must be so good under him right now, because you're right, the gap's exactly the same as it was the last time by at this point in track.
Yeah, you'd swear he gave nothing up in that last chicane, the last hairpin. He's done a good recovery. He's getting just closing up. He looks like he's got better drive. Madison really fighting the back of that Tats.com Falcon. Now he's right there for the slipstream. If he can keep it nice and tidy, he can carry that speed down that back straight.
Both these guys are driving right on the limit of grip, moving about everywhere in the braking zones, on the exits, through the corners. Look at the wheel work that Hampstead's running. This is where he nearly looped it last time.
Oh, looks like down, just struggling to get it turned in for the hairpin.
Both these cars struggling in different areas of the track. Hampstead struggling to put the power down. Look at the draft that he's got heading down to the chicane.
He's thinking about it. Will he think about it? No, he just lets Madison know that he's right there. He's close right up to the back of that car.
There we go, onto the pit straight. They're going to cross the start-finish line to begin the final lap of the race. White flag is in the air. Hampstead's got 1 lap to try and make a win from nothing here.
It's been an amazing opening round, opening to this 2014 championship for Madison Down. He's clean swept. He's won 4 races from 4 starts. Can he make it 5 from 5? He's made contact to the wall. Huge contact there. Damage to the Tats.com Falcon. Can he hold on? He knows he's got big pressure here. Hampstead all over the back. Sideways again for Madison Down.
Less than a car length between, a big slide to Hampstead now. He's
going to think about the brakes beneath the bridge. Oh, doesn't quite. He hasn't quite got the room.
Madison down,
he's sideways. He's up on the grass. That's a cut track. It's all over. It's over. There's contact there. The Tats car's into Hampstead. Hampstead will benefit from that. Down's going to have to slow down for a cut track penalty. It's going to be a win for Richard Hampstead.
They made contact on the exit of that corner there. Madison Down did come across the track. Looks like Hampstead's car is still good. He doesn't have any damage from it. He's home free. It's not going to be enough time for Madison Down to take the victory back. Richard Hampstead, unbelievable stuff on the last lap of the race. He's going to come through. Final chicane left to go, and he's going to win the race for TTL.
What a great drive. He saw that Madison just had a bit of a moment, got on the power, and then there was a little bit of contact, but he comes out of the last turn. Someone has stopped the TTR train. Tats.com go down, and TTL take the win. Richard Hampstead wins round 5.
Whilst that was happening as well, we missed it, but Tobias Cerny going to find himself on the podium. His first ever podium result for Powerbond Dayco Racing. Fantastic. Tobias Cerny, 3rd position. Mitch McLeod in 4th. Emerson as well outdrags Cattell to the line. Unbelievable
Fantastic
stuff.
Again, we say it every time we come here. This place never lets us down for action, and it certainly stood up again tonight.
So in that last lap there, that last couple of laps, we had Cerny get himself onto the podium. Hampstead get himself into the win. Madison Down wasn't able to make it 5 straight, but look at Hampstead celebrating there. What a race.
That was sensational. Did everything right in that race. He just hung with him. He just waited for his time to attack Madison down, and he got the job done. Mate, that was just brilliant racing. He'd be so happy with that result. A great result there for TTL, and wow. Circuit Villeneuve certainly didn't let us down.
Oh, gotta love this place. Gotta love this racing. Gotta love these V8 supercars. How good is that? I can't wait to have these guys here in the box rooms, because there's going to be some very excited drivers after that one, I think.
It's amazing, isn't it? It all came down to that braking zone. Just Madison had a bit of a moment, couldn't quite pull it up as they started underneath the bridge, and got sideways and got a bit of a cut track penalty, had to go across the grass. That was the only way he could save it. And of course, while he was trying to recover, Hampstead and him, looks like Down was just a little bit sideways, made contact with Hampstead, and that fired Hampstead off. Didn't make too much damage there to the Armco barrier, which was good. He was able to continue on, and there was no stopping him from there. It was a great result.
Have a look at Hampstead there, doing a bit of circle work. Well-deserved celebration.
He'd be happy, mate. Not only did he get a win, but he stopped the Tats.com train from going from 5 straight. So Madison Down managed to grab the first 4, but our winner from Montreal, Richard Hampstead, well-deserved in that TTL Falcon.
He's still going on there. Now we're going to run through the race results from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Round 5 of the iRacing V8 Supercar season. Richard Hampstead for TTL brings it home with the win. He led only the last lap of the race, but the most important lap. Takes victory from Madison Down. Tobias Cerny finds himself on the podium in 3rd place. That's his first podium with us here in the series. Fantastic result for Tobias and the Powerbond team. Mitch McLeod came ever so close once again. Don Emerson managed to snatch 5th from Bo Cattell in the dying stages of the race, and George Maris found himself home in 7th. Marlon McMullen, strong position there in 8th. He was in the wars a bit. Michael Fulcher in 9th, and James McKnight rounds out the top 10.
We go through 11 through 20. It's Corey Preston, Sean Kelly in 12th, Kirk Stenberg in 13th, Michael Schreier in 14th, Josh Muggleton in 15th, coming back from starting from 23rd. 16th place is Sanjan Delalic in 17th, Jake Burton, Mario Valasic in 18th, Nathan Bay in 19th, and rounding out the 20 is Richard Arwood.
Then the final drivers in the field, Lee Ellis, Dean O'Brien, Jared Philsell, unfortunately all ran into dramas of some sort through the race. There's a lot of action out there, a lot of contact, a lot of beating and banging. It was an exciting 20 laps around Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. This has got to be a second home for us, I think.
The place, mate. I think we should race here every week. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, this place has never let us down. Every time we come here, it doesn't matter which round we are. It's just these guys really turn it on. It's a great racetrack, and mate, someone stopped the TTR train, so that was great.
Yeah, it's actually a bit of a trend we've seen. Madison Down, of course, won the first 4 races of the season. Last season, Josh Muggleton won the first 4 races, and then things all changed from there. So, yeah, it could be interesting to see if we see some repeat history this time around. But speaking of, we have our race winner joining us here in the commentary box, Richard Hampstead. Congratulations, you've broken the TTR deadlock.
Yeah, cheers. I'm definitely very, very happy with that result. Spent a lot of the race trying to just chase down Madison, and I was just reeling him in 10th by 10th and on him at the last lap, and for him to make that mistake, and I just ducked up the inside, and yeah, that was awesome.
Looks like we may have just a couple of technical issues there. We've lost Leo, but mate, sensational battle to watch. It all came down to that final lap. You held true. You stuck with Madison Down, and mate, looks like you just got a little bit sideways coming into that braking zone under the bridge, and that was your move.
Yeah, no, I was pretty much just at the point where I could look at a move, but I wasn't real. I was more thinking of lining him up for the hairpin, and I think he just locked the rears, and I'm not sure he might have got a slow down. Not sure, but I had the run on him anyway. So yeah, that was definitely a good moment.
And of course, a little bit more spice to the win too, as you managed to stop the TTR train of taking 5 in a row.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think a few people will be happy about that. I know our team definitely are. So big shout out to Matthew Hill too, by the way, because he spotted me all race, and he called the win for me tonight. So thanks for that, Hilly.
And of course, next week we head to Mount Panorama Bathurst. No doubt every driver looks forward to that one. How about you?
Oh, that's interesting. It's actually my birthday next Monday, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make the race, but we'll see.
Well, if we don't see you, mate, happy birthday. But hopefully you can make it along. But we understand if you've got commitments. But yeah, good little stepping stone after this week's run for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hopefully I can get a few more wins by the end of the season.
All right, all the best, mate. And if we don't see you, happy birthday for next week. But well done on tonight's victory.
Cheers, Simon.
And the man who had the battle with him all race long, Madison Down, heartbreaking to lose it in the last half of the race, but looks like you just had a bit of a moment under brakes underneath the bridge.
Yeah, pretty much sums it up. I had no rear tyres left at the end there on the final few laps. From about lap 10 onwards, I was struggling a lot with rear grip, and as Hammer said, he was chasing me down, and last lap I absolutely nailed the concrete early on in that lap, and that bent the car slightly, so I knew I was in trouble, and yeah, broke too deep and went off the road. So unfortunately that led Hammer through for the win, which is pretty disappointing to lead the race the entire way until the last lap. But credit where credit's due. He drove really, really well tonight and deserved the win, no question, and definitely put the pressure on and pressured the mistake. So yeah, hopefully we can come back next week and get back on the top step.
As mate, as disappointed as you may be, it's been a tremendous start to this season. Tats.com boys, yourself and Margot, really had a great start to the season. 4 wins on the trot for yourself, and then to come home second tonight. It's a great first half so far of the championship.
Yeah, for sure. I can't complain too much about how the championship's gone. I don't think I've ever got a start to a championship this good. And sure, I'm disappointed with second tonight, but in the end, second's still a whole bag of points for the championship. So it could have been worse. I could have rotated the car when I lost it, or could have crashed the car earlier on in that final lap. So to come away with second place isn't too bad. Good for the championship, and yeah, just obviously disappointing not to win it, but come back next week and hopefully can get another win.
Next week, mate, Bathurst Mount Panorama. No doubt you'd be pumped for that.
Yeah, for sure. It's probably, I don't know, last time I raced there, I didn't really get to have a great crack at it. I had the race to reality the weekend before, so it was tough to judge past history for me at that track. So I'd like to have a proper go at it this week, have a real good crack at a win. It's obviously a track everybody loves, so yeah, it'd be great to get a win at Bathurst for sure.
We appreciate you stopping by, mate. Thanks very much. Well done tonight. Probably not the result you wanted, but it's a good start to the championship, and we look forward to talking to you next week at Mount Panorama.
Thanks, Edmund.
And want to extend congratulations to the final podium getter of this race, Tobias Cerny. Tobias finds himself with his first ever podium, so fantastic, mate. How good's that feel?
Yeah, hello guys. I'm over the moon. I'm so happy. And it was such an awesome race. I thought it's all over after the first 2 turns, but luckily the car didn't have too much damage, and keep pushing on, and eventually made the move on Mitch there. 2 laps to go, and yeah, I can't say. I want to thank all my teammates. They have been a great week. They also had a great pace. Unfortunately, Mull had some dramas. Yeah, it's awesome week for me.
Mate, that is so good to hear. We had been told from a couple of people that you were carrying a bit of pace this week, and to see you get up on the podium, that's a fantastic result for yourself, and great to hear just how excited you are for it.
Yeah, so Montreal is absolutely my favorite track. Had the speed last 2 seasons here, but some difficult, some dramas here and there. Didn't went well the races, but now podium in the main race. Yeah, I'm stunned. Can't say, I'm lost for words.
Oh, that's excellent, mate. I will let you soak it up, but I guess something that does tend to happen is you get that one up on the board, and it tends to open up a bit of a floodgate. So any other races that you can say might be a second favourite for you on the calendar from here?
Yeah, of course. I'm looking forward for the next week at Bathurst, and also some tracks we haven't been in a while, like Sonoma or Mid Ohio. I'm looking forward to see what's going on there. Can't wait for the rest of the season.
Excellent, mate. I know you're excited, so soak it up. Congratulations for joining us on the podium.
Thank you, guys.
Well done, Tobias. Can be happy for you, mate. It's so good to see a new face on the podium and a man who had a battle with him all race long and just lost out in the dying stages there. Mitch McLeod, heck of a battle between you and Tobias, mate.
Yeah, that was unreal. I wasn't expecting to get that high up from 8th on the grid, and I absolutely hate this track. Last season was my first race here, and that was horrible. I finished last, I think, and I just made so many mistakes. So this week I did a fair bit of practice. Didn't get the pace, but yeah, somehow got into 4th by turn 2, and 5th, I think. And then I think Bo Cattell had a cut track halfway around the lap. So yeah, it was looking good straight up, and sort of got handed a few places. But yeah, great pressure from Tobias, and that was a great battle. I was hoping he was going to break too deep and go through the chicane, but it didn't happen. So well done to him.
Mate, it was so good to watch. That battle between you and Tobias was sensational. But like you said, good pace for yourself. Qualifying wasn't all that great, but that race car looked pretty good. So, we always say that, we've said in the telecast that this place really turns it on, and tonight was no different. It was a great battle to watch.
Yeah, it was unreal. I thought I was going to make a mistake for sure. Early race tonight, I went through I had about 6 cut tracks, I think. So, yeah, a bit of a turnaround. I was hoping that Tobias was going to get blindsided and cut a track and, give me a bit of breathing space, but that didn't happen. He kept the pressure on, and yeah, it was awesome drive.
I was going to say that was my next question, is that how mindful are you of the off tracks? Because now with the latest build, if you get 17, you get disqualified. So does that play on your mind a little bit when you're trying to attack those chicanes?
The cut tracks aren't so bad through the chicanes. It's more the having to slow down and give up 5 seconds. So the off tracks, I only had one of those, which was surprising as well. I only hit the wall once, but I was hoping for a cut track for Tobias, but it didn't happen. He's too good.
All right, mate. Appreciate you stopping by. Have a chat. Good luck for next week for Mount Panorama, mate, and hopefully another good result for you there next week.
Thanks, guys. Nice to be interviewed again.
Always good to have you.
There's a lot of exciting battles out there throughout the whole field, and Bo Cattell managed to bring it home in 6th, but was in the middle of a lot of action, Bo. 6th is a great result, but how was the race overall?
Yeah, that was pretty hectic. I think I should be happy with 6th, considering the pretty epic battles I was having, but I do feel like I should have done better. But it was great racing with Emo and Marlon, George Maris, and I'm probably forgetting someone else was in there. But yeah, it was very hectic.
Mate, it was fantastic to watch, to see you guys going at it like you were throughout that huge portion of the middle part of the race. And looks like Emerson just managed to pip you there towards the end of it all. But of course, still great to see you churning out these solid results for the new team. And got to be happy with the progress that's being made, especially first season with ANZ here.
Yeah, just trying to be pretty consistent, doing a few races to make sure I have a good banking of points, but hopefully in the future I'll be able to do what Mad does and all of those guys and just rock up and own. Be awesome.
You got any tracks circled for the coming season that you think will be when we have it back on the podium, mate?
I do love Bathurst, but podium might be a bit out of reach there. I'm sure we'll have half the service on for that one. But yeah, I do like Sonoma. I've never raced there in an official race, but I like the track, so I'll have to wait and see.
That's it, mate. Long way to go. Only 5 races into your new team and already doing such a good job, so looking forward to what happens from here.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
It's been a great result, as we touched on, for Tobias Azerni and Powerbond Racing, and another man out of that stable who was in the thick of it all, most of it up the front there, and unfortunately had a little bit of contact. Marlon McMullen, mate, you had it all going on. There was a massive battle between yourself, Emerson, and Maris, and unfortunately a little bit of contact from Maris hurt you a little bit.
Yeah, good. G'day, guys. How we going? Yeah, it was one of those races. One to remember. I'll take a lot of positives out of that. Especially well done to Tobias. Congrats to him for getting the third. So it's really good boost and elevation to the team. But other than that, just it was really good to run up the front for once, and especially run with some new names. It's a bit different. It's a little bit more fierce than I predicted. But I just got to get used to it and get thrown in the deep end. So it was a good learning curve, and it was good to put some pace on the guys. And fortunately, made a little couple of slip ups on myself, and it got a little bit of bumper adjustment on the rear, which threw out the handling a little bit from the rear. So, but other than that, I'm really stoked with it, and had a really hard fought battle with Maris, I guess. So tried to put some pace back on him at the end, but unfortunately, I got a slow down when I had a pivotal moment to get by him.
Plenty of positives to take away, and Tobias's result and your strong running, it's been good for Powerbond, and hopefully you can feed on from that from weeks to come.
Yeah, most definitely. Well done to Jake and Stenny as well. So we've now got 4 cars running in the top split. It's something that we've never predicted before. So, we'll see how we go next week. Bathurst is the big one. So we'll take the motivation from this week and use it for next week and prepare onwards.
All the best for the mountain, mate. We look forward to catching up with you next week, but appreciate you stopping by for the chat.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Now, also joining us here in the booth, Sean Kelly managed to bring it home in position number 12. Sean, it was an intense race out there, and how'd things go for yourself? I see you might have had a bit of trouble early on.
Yeah, hey guys. Congrats to Richard Batterson and especially Tobias. It seemed pretty hectic out there. I got collected with Alice and someone's hit in the first lap, and then after that, I don't know, just seemed to lack engine power for some reason. I was just getting eaten up on every straight, and losing car lengths, and Emerson was got up alongside me so easily, and then after that, realised I had no engine power, so just continued on, and had Nathan behind me, and my steering wheel stood across the desk, and I collected the front wall, and unfortunately Nathan got caught up in my accident, and then from then it was just just salvaging the finish really.
And it's a shame to see something like that happen, but of course, I guess sometimes we got to take those things and think that, what could happen in the real world? We don't have the mechanical dramas, but to think that your steering wheel coming loose on the desk, it's a bit of a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, I had 2 good hits, and the car was steering okay, it just had no power, and I've only really experienced that once before, and couldn't do anything with it. So good race. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, no worries, Sean. Look forward to seeing you in the in other races from here. Always great to have you. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, sweet.
Another man who had a good run tonight. Qualifying wasn't all the best back in 18th place, but to finish home in 13th, Kurt Stenberg, nice little climb forward, mate.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not sure about the first lap. There were cars everywhere, and just try and survive. My goal tonight was just to survive and not make too many mistakes, and that seemed to work out. Got a few positions there.
You did well. We were commenting on the race, just how much action, and so easy for these guys to get an off track. And if you got a cut track and have to slow down and give up all those spots, it can hurt you very early on. So you did a great job, especially when there's so much chaos at the start.
Yeah, definitely pretty happy with all that, and well done to Tobias, and well done to Moen as well, top 10. So well done to Jake as well.
So bring on next week, mate. Everyone gets excited about the mountain. No doubt you're looking forward to that one.
Oh, who doesn't like Bathurst? I think that's the question. I don't know how well I'll do, because I reckon everyone will be there. So it should be a good race. I'll be putting in the laps all next week.
Well, all the best, mate. Appreciate you stopping by, and mate, good luck at Mount Panorama.
Thanks, guys.
Also joining us in the box is a former series champ, Josh Muggleton. Always great to have a chat to you, and not really in the position that we're used to hearing for it, so I won't really say much about that. I'll let you tell us yourself, or tell us everyone out there what happened.
How you going?
I'm good.
Yeah, that's good.
How are you?
Yeah, not bad. That's about all, really. Want to talk about something else? No. No, I've sort of switched my focus away from iRacing for the time being. With GT Academy coming back up and all that, so I'm just going to start from the back and have a bit of fun, use it as a bit of racing practice. But yeah, that was a bit of fun. It was good.
So why don't you tell us about that there, Josh Muggleton, GT Academy, what you're focusing on, and what's all that mean?
It's a competition that Nissan runs along with PlayStation to turn a gamer into a real racing driver, really. So there's a few different regions, mainly in Europe, who are entering, but Australia's included again this year. I went in it the first time Australia was in it. I made it to the national final and was leading the grand final race there and got taken out. So that sort of stuck with me ever since then, and I vowed if it ever came back to Australia that I'd drop everything and sort of put all my focus towards that and be prepared. So yeah, I've changed my my training regime to get fit, my nutrition to eat better, and gone back to the good old Gran Turismo. So yeah, I'm not going to mix iRacing and Gran Turismo too much with the physics and everything. So I'll turn up and yeah, use it as a bit of practice for some racing.
Well, I hope that you enjoy the iRacing side of things here with that. I think it will provide some excitement for us with the pace that we know you do have. But also, we'll say then congratulations for getting back involved in the GT Academy, and best wishes from us for it. We'll no doubt be following it throughout the course of the whole thing.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Doesn't mean I won't be back in here to have a chat with you guys every week, but hopefully a bit further up the field.
Looking forward to it, mate. All the best.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Another driver's joined us in the commentary box. Jake Burton started in 19th, finished 17th, so a couple of spots in your pocket there, but a tough race for you tonight, mate.
Yeah, a very tough race. I got a knock on the first lap, and that put out my steering for pretty much the whole race, but unfortunately, you know, that was going to happen. I wasn't always going to be at the front anyway. I was probably not going to be anywhere close, but it was a tough race, and I had a bit of a couple lap battle with Muggo, which was pretty special for me, but you know, and still great result for Stenny and Marlon, and incredible result for Tobias. He really deserves it.
Mate, we touched on that in the broadcast, just you back there with Muggleton. You know, as difficult as it is sometimes to be back there in the field when you got someone around you, especially the likes of Muggleton, you can sort of learn and pick up a little bit there. So hopefully you use that as maybe some advice you took off him, maybe watching his braking and his driving lines.
Yeah, sure. I mean, when you're in this sort of talented field you are, and now it's my second week in here, I hope to be in here more often and learn more and hopefully be up the front, and I'm really looking forward to next week. So.
And of course, Mount Panorama, like we touched on, everyone loves that place, and no doubt you're looking forward to that. Does practice and testing start tomorrow?
Maybe not tomorrow, but I'll definitely be putting a lot of testing in there because it was incredible. It's an incredible racetrack and need a lot of practice to be fast.
Well, all the best, mate. Good to have you in the top split and in the broadcast. All the best for next week, and hopefully we stay out of trouble and keep the car straight, and we look for stronger results, mate.
I hope so. Thanks, guys.
And also here with us in the box, Lee Ellis. Lee started position 6th, unfortunately found yourself back in 21st. Bit of argy-bargy happening out there, mate. What happened?
Yeah. Not much really. I just locked the brake into turn 1 almost, and Tobias, sorry about that. Tried to let him through. Let like 6 other people through, and then as we were going through the first chicane, try to give enough room to Jared, and then a bit of netcode sent us spinning, and I think if Sean didn't hit me, it would have been an absolute carnage in that little section right there.
Yeah, it was a tough little bit of real estate and awkward bit of contact. Unfortunate that this netcode thing sometimes gets involved, and fortunately you just got to kind of take those ones and head on, but Mount Panorama, of course, we've said is next week, and must be keen for that one, certainly after tonight there.
Oh, definitely. I wasn't there last season when it first came out, but definitely be there this one. Hopefully I can do alright, I guess. Put in a few laps and see how we go.
Well, mate, I hope that next time we speak to you, it's probably on a bit better terms than this. But if it's happening next week at Mount Panorama, you're gonna have a big smile out your face because I know everyone loves racing at that place.
Oh, definitely.
Well, with that, thanks for joining us, Lee. We're going to start to wrap things up here. All the drivers who've completed their races and treated us to some fantastic racing. I've got to say, Sam, man, what do you make of all that?
Oh, mate, people are going to be sick of hearing me say it, but Circuit Villeneuve never disappoints, and tonight was the same. It was sensational racing, a great battle between Hampstead and Down, and Hampstead to take the win, finally breaking the stranglehold on this championship the Tats.com had on this this opening 4 races. So good to see Hampstead grab a win, and mate, bring on next week Mount Panorama Bathurst.
I know you must be keen for that one. Great to have you finally joining us in the box. We've seen some great races there in the past already, and I've got high expectations.
Me too, mate. Can't wait. Bring it on.
Also, so thanks to Reese for joining us again tonight, as always. Not really a whole lot for you to get involved with, but next week things will be different, of course.
Oh, certainly Bathurst. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. I mean, you know, everyone loves Bathurst. If you don't like Bathurst, then you don't know true happiness. And I'm definitely looking forward to the race at that track next week. Easily one of my favourite tracks ever.
I know we all feel the same, mate. And so we're going to have to say a big thanks to all the drivers, everybody for watching. Big thanks to Direct Clutch Services, V8's online superstore, and of course the V8 Supercar fan group. And then a big thanks to Seb in the background there for making all this possible. Great night of racing here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Had a bit of everything, bit of action. First time podium sitter. Madison Down not winning the race. Of course, big congratulations there to Richard Hampstead who brought it across for the win. So, round 5 winner, TTL, Richard Hampstead.